Hey guys, this is Joel from the Fincastle Pokemon Gym. Now, if I were to win the lottery, which seems a little far-fetched since I don't play it or any other forms of gambling because I identified long ago that they are all just forms of taxes on the stupid. But if I were to win it, among the things that I would do is build today's deck just as I have it in TCG Live, which is a fully blinged out version. And I would hit the tournament circuit with it, without sleeves, of course. Why? I don't know. Some days you just wake up and choose violence. That little fantasy probably came to me at a show after somebody stood in front of my booth, examining a $3 card for about 5 minutes and blocking everybody else from seeing anything else that we have, only to point out a white spot on the corner of the card the size of a gnat's nut, and exclaim that card won't grade at a 10, and then gave the card back and strutted away like a little bandy rooster. Now, there's one of those at every show, unfortunately. But anyway, a while back, I released a video of a $3,000 plus Pikachu EX deck. This one only clocks in at about 1900 by my calculations, but I did not play the most expensive versions of all of the trainers. I could push this one to at least the same price with the Plasma Series Ultra Balls and Rare Candies, but times are hard, and it's probably Putin's fault according to the news. Now, that Charizard that everybody wants and nobody plays thankfully has a $3.50 version, so if you want to act like someone that has some sense, you can build this deck for not a lot of money. But we're not doing that today. Now, the 151 Charizard EX is a Fire-type 330 HP Stage 2 with 2 pretty amazing attacks, and has weakness to water and a 2 energy retreat cost. Now, while I'm more likely to use these attacks in the opposite order of the way they're printed on the card, let's still look at the first attack first. It is called Brave Wing. It does 60 damage for 1 energy, and if you have any damage on you, it does 100 more, so 160 for 1 energy is pretty solid. The second attack, called Explosive Vortex, does a massive 330 damage for 4 energies in exchange for discarding 3 energy from that Charizard. Now, the idea here is to open with Vortex and just nuke everything that you see, and if your opponent manages to knock out 2 of these bad boys, then you clean up with the Obsidian Flames Charizard EX, which will be hitting for at least 300 damage with Burning Darkness. Let's get to the list, look at the Pokemon. Now, because you're trying to evolve to 3 different Stage 2s, this list can be admittedly a little janky. While I want to open with the 151 Charizard, there are games where I just open with the Dark-type Charizard and build to a late 151 EX. And the point being there is not really just one way to play this, but because of all the moving pieces, you just have to go with what you are presented. And honestly, either option is a strong way to start a game. Now, rounding out this beautiful line of Charizard, I have one of my top 5 all-time favorites, which is Emboar, and all of his amazing illustration rares. Now, he takes us back to 2011 when Logan played Emboar Reshiram with Rayquaza Deoxys Legend in the World Championships in San Diego, which automatically makes Logan a legend, I say. But with the reprinting of this Inferno Fandango Emboar, I am surprised I've been able to contain myself this long without already making 5 Inferno Fandango decks. This is my first, but more are coming, believe that. Now, on to the rest of the deck. The supporter line is similar to most of these Stage 2s right now, where Arven drives that first turn technical machine play that I mention here all the time. I play for research, so you can be aggressive and dig, because there is no Pidgeot EX or other outs here other than just Fezandipity EX to draw after a knockout. And I kept 2 Iono just in case you get that TCG Live type hand where a research would basically throw away everything you need for the game. And you can also see there are 2 Artisan here for your stadiums just to get those basics out early. And onto the items, there's nothing too wild here either. Secret Box gives you the most options to fill in what you are missing. You could probably play Trolley if you wanted to. I prefer the Secret Box. and the mix of Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, and Poffin works well to get everything going. And everything else here is just energy and Pokemon recovery. There's 2 rods, 2 superior energy retrievals. They both allow you to use Explosive Vortex multiple times, whether you charge it with Emboar or with the Obsidian Flames Charizard EX. And there are 3 Vessel to get that energy out early for Inferno Fandango if that's the way your opening goes. So overall, it's not a complicated deck. You just have to play it a bit and be able to recognize which way is the best way to go based on your hand. Now, that may be playing it like a traditional Charizard deck and just getting a late Emboar, or it may be setting Emboar on your second turn and going after that 151 Charizard as your lead attacker. And if somebody catches and traps your Emboar, don't be afraid to throw 4 energy on him and just Heat Crash for 120 until they knock him out, because you can get all of that energy back and the Emboar back. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. So sit back, put on some sunglasses to shield yourself from all of this fire, and enjoy watching Charizard do something other than sit in a binder. This first match is against that Flareon EX box deck that you saw a lot of at Worlds. I think it was popular because it did have answers for a lot of the other things in the format. It does have answers for this deck as well. It has Leafeon, which can counter my my Dark Charizard. I did not start with Arven, but I'm going to be able to get there. We'll put back in those 2 guys that just Ultra Ball, and I'm going to Iono. Would prefer to have the Arven there, but I get the same results. I get my TM. I'm going to play that Poffin and get down another Tepig and a Charmander. I'll play the TM Evolution, play Vessel, get rid of the Counter Catcher. Get my 2 fire, and you can see I already have the Dark Charizard in my hand, so if I don't draw anything else, that'll be my my play for the next turn. Like I said, it doesn't matter so much which one you start with here. I prefer to start with the 151 because it can just maul anything. We'll go ahead and evolve to Pignite and to Charmeleon. On their turn, they don't get any of those Terra Basics down, so they can't use their Noctowl, so they're kind of stuck. I'm going to go ahead and evolve to the Dark Charizard, and we will use his ability to get out 3 energies. I'm going to attach 2 to him, 1 to the active. We'll go ahead and retreat the active as well. I've got that Charmeleon in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and evolve Charmander into Charmeleon, attach another energy there. Then we'll knock out this Rotom, only doing 180 with Burning Darkness, but that's enough to get things started. Off my prizes, get a Super Rod. They again are stuck without any of their evolutions or any Terras. They retreat that Mew, pass back to me, top an Arven. I get Secret Box off of Arven. I'm going to attach to that Charmeleon, and just going to hold what I have. Go ahead and take out this Hoot Hoot. Get ahead on prizes. They do have that Eevee charged up, so if they do get to Leafeon especially, which they do on this turn, they nuke that Charizard, and they catch up and get 2 prizes. So on my turn, I'll send up that Charmeleon. I'm going to attach the 4th energy necessary there, then we'll just use Secret Box. With that, I get Artisan, I get Poffin, and I'm going to get Research. I'm just going to bump their Stadium. I'm going to use their Stadium. I guess I could use the Poffin either way, same difference. Get another Charmander out, and then we will Research. Just looking for that 151 Charizard. I don't get it. I do get Fezandipity, which I can use now since they did just take a knockout. I will draw 3 off of Fesandipity's flip to script. And then I will Ultra Ball. Get rid of Research and that Earthen Vessel. Get my 151 Charizard. Evolve my active one there. I've got Rare Candy. I don't want to burn that candy though, so I'm just going to use my Night Stretcher and get back a Charmeleon out of my discard pile. Use it to evolve one of my Charmanders, so I have that manual evolution in play. Then as much as they overhit me on the last turn, massively overhit them on this turn. Blow up that Leafeon EX. Also take out that Crystal, which was the A-Spec, which is very important. They just evolved to a Flareon. I guess they're hoping maybe I don't have a way to recharge that Charizard and knock it out. I evolve to Emboar, get my superior energy retrieval, get 4 energies back, and we will just Inferno Fandango onto 151 Charizard, and we will knock out this Flareon for the last 2 prizes. Don't think this deck has enough answers to the Charizard deck. It is a good counter deck, but not really against a fire deck like this 151 Charizard. This second game is against Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. It's one of my favorite decks, probably the next one I'm going to build a physical copy of. I'm really surprised it didn't have a stronger showing at Worlds. Now in this game, I start going second, top a secret box. I'm going to use it to get Artisan, Arven, my Technical Machine, and a Nest Ball. Then I'll play Puff and get down a Charmander and Tepig. We'll get the Artisan in play, attach Technical Machine. Go ahead and use Artisan to get another basic. We will get another Charmander down. Then we will play Arven. Got to get energy. I'm just going to toss that other Technical Machine. Should not need to use that a second time. So grab the 2 fires there. Attach to the active. Go ahead and Nest Ball, get down another Tepig. Then we'll go ahead and Super Rod back in a Pignite and Fire Energies to make sure we have a Pokemon to get with Technical Machine. Then we will evolve to Pignite and Charmeleon and get us ready for our next turn, where we can manually evolve to at least 1 Charizard. On their turn, they get a second energy on their Mewtwo, get their full bench set up, and they knock out my active Charmander. That thing does have a Bravery Charm on it, so we'll have to be able to go for the 151 Charizard on this turn. I actually hit it with the dark one too, because that Mewtwo is weak to dark. But go ahead and research. I get down Fezandipity, and we can use Fezandipity because they just knocked out a Charmander. Off that I get Ultra Ball. Gonna Ultra Ball away Artisan and an Arven. Now get that 151 Charizard. We'll evolve manually to him, and then we can rare candy to the Obsidian Flames Charizard and use his ability to get our 3 energies onto the active. I'll put all 3 there. Then we will just go ahead and one-shot this Mewtwo, even with the Bravery Charm. Take our first 2 prizes, get back in the lead, and off our prize cards, and get an Emboar and a Research. They realize, and rightfully so, pretty quickly, they need to change gears and make this a Spidops matchup. They have a full bench, hit me for 180, setting up a 2-hit on my 151 guy. I evolve to Emboar. I'm going to go ahead and Fandango down the 2 energies I have in my hand. Get them onto that Charmander. And we'll play Arven. Use Superior Energy Retrieval. I've already got a bunch in my discard pile. We'll toss Iono and the Stretcher and get back 4. I think that's all 4 that were in my discard pile. And we're going to Fandango a little more. We'll go 2 onto the Obsidian Flames Charizard and then 2 onto that Charmander. Don't need anything else on this Charizard because I have damage, so I can just Brave Wing for 160 times 2, more than knocks out the Spidops. Get an Iono off those prizes. They keep their bench full, keep sending up that free retreat Mimikyu so they can back up, and they finish off the knockout on my Charizard with a second Spidops. So I'm going to send up my Obsidian Flames Charizard atop a Research. I'll go ahead and use Fezandipity since they just took a knockout. Not much there. I'll play Super Rod and go ahead and get a whole line of Charizard back in. Then I'm going to use Artisan to get that Charmander out. And then we're going to go ahead and use Inferno Fandango, get this energy in my hand onto him. Have that rare candy. I really don't want to toss it, but I'm going to have to here. I'm going to Research. To Research, I've got Ultra Ball. I'm going to go get that Charmeleon that I just put back in. And we'll evolve the Charmander with the energy to Charmeleon. Kind of force their hand. They have to deal with one of the 2 of these guys, so I'm going to go ahead and take the knockout with the Obsidian Flames Charizard, take a prize, kind of baiting them into setting up my counter catcher play. they do exactly that. They get 2 Spite Ops in play, plus a Mewtwo with an energy on it. And thanks to weakness, one-shot that Obsidian Flames Charizard and take the lead, which just allows me to evolve that Charmeleon to Charizard. And we'll just counter catch up that Mewtwo that has that maximum belt on it. And we will hit him for 330 at the knockout and take my last 2 in the game. Now I like where these versions of Charizard EX sit. They are very playable. They don't rule the format, but they are in the conversation at least. I don't enjoy what the post-2020 world of graded cards has done to the game, where people buy up every Charizard they see, because you never know which one might get a 10. Despite that, I love how this deck plays. I can't see myself playing anything but the cheap version of it in real life. However, I'm definitely going to start gathering up a playset of that line of Emboar, because it is beautiful. I don't know what is down the road for fire types, but I'll be ready if and when anything else good gets here. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Support the channel in any way that you can. Drop in and check out my friend Randy and I on our Appalachian Dim Sum Podcast if you'd like to hear about classic movies, new stuff, anime, and video games. And until next time, be not afraid. Later.